Hi there, this is Ms. Cave with a lesson on transformational geometry. Specifically, what we're learning about today are translations. But before we get into translations, is our first type of transformation. A transformation, okay, the word transform means to change, okay? So a transformation is a change in the size, the position, or the location of a figure. Okay, so it could be the direction it's facing, the size, the position, or the location. A translation is a transformation in which translates or slides each point of the figure the same distance, and it's in the same direction. Okay? So we're just sliding shapes. When you have a transformation, it's just sliding. It's not turning, it's not flipping, it's just sliding across the coordinate grid. So the resulting figure after transformation, so when I have an extra, so you have the original like down here, when I make the extra figure, it's called, what is it called when we have a copy of something else? We call it an, starts with an I. Image. It's an image of the original, okay? It looks the same, but it's not exactly the same. It's a clone, as you will. So we're going to start with an example. This tells us the triangle ABC is translated 1 unit right and 4 units up. Okay? So it gives us the coordinates of the original shape. We have ABC, and it's going 1 up and 4, 1 to the right and 4 up. So all you do is you take each of the coordinates and you move them 1 to the right and 1 up. So starting with A, 1 to the right and 4 up, I'm going to take it, I'm going to move it 1 to the right, and I'm going to go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's going to be called A prime, okay? When you have a duplicate, you put the prime sign, so you can tell the difference between the two. And so I didn't move it. Oh, I did move it. So the new coordinates are 2, 1. All I did was slide it. I moved it to the right 1 and up 4. Okay, for B, this is at 3, 0. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to move it 1 to the right and 4 up. So 1 to the right, I'm just taking the point, and I'm going to move it 4 up. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this is B prime because it's an image of the original. It's not the same, so I need to be able to tell the difference between the two. So I'm going to use the prime sign. And the coordinates of this one will be 4, 4. Okay? Okay so far? We're just taking each of the points and moving them. You don't want to move the whole shape at once because you may be off by 1. Just by looking, don't try to do it just by looking at it. Actually move 1 point at a time based on the directions that are given. So for C, it's 4, -2, 4, -2. And again, I'm going to go 1 to the right, 1 to the right, and I'm going to go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is C prime. And then I'm going to connect them. And when you have a transformation or a translation, the shape should stay congruent. If your shapes look different, if your image looks different from your original, go back and check and make sure you moved your points the right amount of spaces. So for C prime, my coordinates are going to be 5, 2. So one of the ways you'll be asked to make transformations is with words. 1 unit right, 4 units up. The other way is with a rule, and this is the way the rules are written. You're going to see some of these tomorrow when you guys do your practice. So let's just look. Look at our x value. For A, it went from 1 to 2, okay? So look at our x value, 1 to 2, 3 to 4, 4 to 5. What happened to our x value in each of the examples, each of the points? We went up by 1, right? Because we went to the right one. So when you're writing this as a rule with variables, you write it x, y in parentheses, You write that little arrow. That means there's a change, or it's a transformation. And then it's x plus 1. And then what happened to our y? -3 to 1, 0 to 4, -2 to 2. We went up by how many? 4, which tells us here 4 units up. So up and down, right? Up and down is a vertical, so that's going to be up by 4. So you'll see translations given, the directions for translations given, not only with words, but also with a rule where it's written like this. This just means you increase your x value by 1, you increase your y value by 4. Make sense? All right. Let's look at another example. So this time we are going to go ahead and create that shape, JKL. So I'm going to plot my points. J is 0, 2. So 0, 2. I'm going to label it J. This is my original. And then K is going to be 3, 4. 3, 4. This is my K value. And then L is 5, 1. 5, 1. Then I'm going to connect my points like so. So I've made a triangle. Oops. It's a good thing I'm using these erasable pencils. I made a joke. Pencils. Pens, I meant. Yasmin gets it. Yasmin gets it. She knows what I'm talking about. Okay, inside joke. Sorry, 4th period. Inside joke with 3rd period. Okay, so we're going to go 4 to the left and 5 up. Okay, so I'm going to go 4 to the left, 5 up. So since I'm doing that, I'm going to skip to the rule and show you how this is going to be a little easier without having to count. So if I know I'm going 4 to the left, my x value is going to decrease by how many? Think 4, right? So my x would be x minus 4. So this is going to be x minus 4. See that? Before, and then I can change my coordinates. And then my y value, it says 5 up. So what's going to happen to my y value? Y what? Plus 5. Plus 5. See? I can do it with a rule. I can just change my coordinates. I can add or subtract from my coordinates and then plot my points. 2 different ways of doing it. So J, if I subtract 4 from 0, I'm going to get -4. And then I'm going to add 5 to 2. I'm going to get 7. So then I can plot it. -4, 7. And that's J prime. Okay. K prime, same thing. I'm going to take 3 and I'm going to subtract 4, right? My rule is x minus 4. So 3 minus 4 is -1. And then 4 plus 5 is what? 9. So I'm going to go to my graph. I'm going to plot -4, or excuse me, -1, +9. So that's going to be K prime. And I'm going to do the same thing with L. I'm going to subtract 4 from my x. 5 minus 4 is 1. And then I'm going to add 5 to my y. My y is 1 plus 5. I'm going to get 6. Because sometimes you're going to be given a rule and sometimes you'll be given the words. So you need to know how to do it either way. So my coordinates are 1, 6. So I'm going to plot it 1 on the x, up 6 on the y. This is going to be L prime. Going to connect those points like so. And again, I want to check and make sure. I know my lines are a little messed up on the pink one. And again, the image is the one with the little prime symbols. That's how you know it's the image. The original won't have anything after the letters. the one that's the image has these symbols, which are part called prime. All right? So, is it congruent or similar? Yes. How do I know? Observation. Let's go with that today. Why not? There's something else we could do, but we can go with observation. It looks to be the same. And so my x-coordinate, I subtracted 4, right? That's my minus 4. And then my y-coordinate, we already did the rule. We added 5. And so that's how we got, this is how you write out rules for transformations. X minus 4, y plus 5. We kind of worked ahead and then backwards for how to do it. But these notes will be a good way for you to go back tomorrow, because it'll be a whole 24 hours since you saw it. So I'm not giving you homework on it tonight, so that you can go back and look at it. Any questions? Make sense? Yes. Kind of refreshing, and we're not done yet, but kind of refreshing after what we've been doing with a little more complicated stuff. This is kind of easy, but it's just counting on a graph and looking at relationships between x and y. All right, so let's go ahead and try an example. We probably won't get through all of these, but this example. So now for this example, you have your original and your image, and you're going to write the rule. Okay? So to write the rule, you don't necessarily look at it as two shapes. Look at it as two sets of points. So you can choose any point on the graph. So I'm going to choose this one. I'm going to choose M, and I'm going to choose M prime and see what happened. Okay? See that? I need to note that this one here is my original, and this one here is my image, because you don't want to mess up on that. Look at which one's the original and which one's the image. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to count up and over to get to that point. Okay, so my x changed. Okay, I can look at how my x changed, right? X is my horizontal change. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my x changed by 6, and I added. So it's going to be x plus 6. Does that make sense? It went 6 to the right, so that's x plus 6. And then my y value, it's going up. How much is it going up? 2. It's going up by 2. So it's going to be what? Y plus 2. All right, now you have example 4. Go ahead and try that. Go ahead and give example 4 a try. So you're graphing your points 0, 3. That's T. 2, 4. That's U. 5, negative 1. That's V. So this is my original shape. It's a triangle. And then I'm going to translate x minus 3, y minus 1. So I'm going to move my points 3 to the left. 1, 2, 3, and down 1. T prime. Do the same thing with U. 3 to the left. 1, 2, 3, down 1. U prime. And then V, 3 to the left. 1, 2, 3, down 1. And then I'm going to connect them. And now I have a congruent triangle. I plotted my points. I moved each of them 3 to the left and 1 down. And then I plotted a new point. Let's double check. We went 3 to the left. 1, 2, 3, down 1. This one I went 3 to the left, 1, 2, 3, down 1. This one I went 3 to the left, 1, 2, 3, and down 1. In words, what did it ask me to do? It asked me to move 3 units left, and it was 1 unit down. Okay. So the new coordinates, so if I wanted to list my new coordinates, I'm just taking 3 away from my x and 1 away from my y, or I could look at my graph. So t prime, the coordinates of t prime would be 3 to the left, so I'm taking 3 away, so it's -3, and I'm taking 1 away from y, so it's 2. I'm just following the rule now. And then for u, my original u was 2. 2 minus 3 is -1. And then 4 minus 1 is 3. Okay, I'm just kind of working backwards now. I'm getting my coordinates by looking at my rule. And then for v, it's 5 minus 3, which is 2. And then y, -1 minus 1, which is -2, right? -1 minus 1 is... Okay. Now this is our... We're going to go ahead and stop there with our example 4. Make sure that you bring your notes with you tomorrow. We will possibly finish some of the other notes in class tomorrow, so bring your notes back with you. And we'll pick up with this at that time. That's it. Have a great day.